Do you remember what were the big issues of the day that they were talking about, and what did you think about it?
Yeah, in fact, it was funny because they were talking about inflation, and they were worried that what would happen, how do you control inflation? And I, as a mathematician, I didn't understand the concept. I don't understand the concept today. How's that possible? Well, when you talk about most things to do with money, money is meant to be local. It's US dollars. Then I understand what it means. If inflation, it means my dollar today.
Imagine a set of documents so explosive, they could shake the foundations of wealth and power across the globe. A story hidden in plain sight, where secrets, money, and influence intersect in ways most people will never understand. Jeffrey Epstein, a name synonymous with scandal and mystery, left behind more than just controversy. He left behind trails of information that could reveal networks of the elite, connections that some wish had remained buried forever. Today, we dive into these secret files, tracing the path from Epstein's personal empire to the corridors of global power. This isn't rumor or speculation. It's about patterns, documents, and questions that remain unanswered even today. Strap in, because what you're about to hear is bigger than a single man, bigger than a single scandal.
That the money was coming from a, what are you, class 3 sexual predator?
Tier 1.
Was tier 1's the highest and worst?
No, I'm
the lowest?
I'm the lowest.
You're the lowest. Okay, tier 1, you're the lowest. But a criminal.
Yes.
That the money came from them. What percentage of people do you estimate, I understand you don't like probabilities, do you estimate would say, I don't care, I want the money for my children?
I would say everyone said, I want the money for my children.
The origin of the files. Epstein's financial and personal records were meticulously organized. From bank statements to travel logs, and from guest lists to legal documents, there was a story behind every piece of paper. When investigators and journalists began sifting through these files, patterns emerged. These weren't just records of a criminal. They were a map of influence showing who Epstein knew, who visited him, and who remained loyal or silent over decades. Experts in investigative journalism emphasize that documents like these often hold the key to understanding systems, not just individuals. Each file, email, and ledger entry could expose transactions, favors, and arrangements that connect elite individuals across business, politics, and social spheres. The power of connections. Jeffrey Epstein's power didn't come from money alone. It came from connections, access to influential people, invitations to private events, and a network that spanned continents. The secret files hint at meetings with billionaires, politicians, royalty, and even people in intelligence. Every name in these documents represents a thread. Pull one, and it might unravel entire networks of influence. These connections weren't random. They were deliberate. Epstein cultivated relationships, offered favors, and ensured that certain people benefited while others were kept in check. The files show the depth of this social engineering and how one man became central to a hidden world where influence is currency. Financial trails and offshore entities. One of the most significant aspects of Epstein's secret files is the financial data. Offshore accounts, shell companies, and complex financial arrangements dominate much of the records. Money flowed quietly, often leaving little trace for traditional investigations. Analysts note that this type of financial web is designed for one purpose: to protect both assets and the people involved. Following the money isn't just about uncovering Epstein's wealth. It's about seeing how it intersects with other elites, how transactions might have been structured to avoid scrutiny, and how influence and loyalty could be bought or maintained through financial means. Each document is a puzzle piece that shows a hidden system of wealth and control. Legal documents and plea deals. Epstein's legal battles were highly publicized, but the secret files reveal layers of negotiation and deals that rarely reached mainstream media. Plea agreements, immunity clauses, and settlements point to a system that protects certain individuals while leaving others exposed. Lawyers, advisors, and unnamed entities appear repeatedly, raising questions about the breadth of protection that Epstein received. Experts say these documents show the intersection of law, power, and secrecy. They illustrate how certain legal arrangements can shield not just one person, but entire networks. Understanding these agreements is crucial to understanding the magnitude of Epstein's influence. Travel logs and guest lists. Perhaps the most provocative sections of the files are travel logs and guest lists. Epstein's private planes, islands, and homes were meticulously documented. Names, dates, and locations paint a vivid picture of who moved within his circle. Some individuals visited frequently, others sporadically, but each entry is a potential link in a chain that connects the powerful to secrets and influence. Investigators highlight that patterns in these logs suggest coordination. Certain meetings were not accidental. They were calculated, and each log entry represents a story, a meeting that could have implications far beyond the surface level of social visits. Unanswered questions and suppressed information. Despite decades of investigation, many questions remain unanswered. Some documents were sealed, others remain inaccessible. Why were certain files withheld? Who decided what the public could see? These gaps suggest intentional suppression, not oversight. Analysts argue that the very act of suppression indicates the sensitivity of the information. When powerful networks are involved, transparency often comes with risk. The missing pieces in Epstein's files are as telling as the documents that have emerged, hinting at a larger system operating in the shadows. The impact on power structures. Understanding Epstein's secret files isn't just about one man. It's about seeing the architecture of power. Networks of elites, political influence, and financial leverage become visible when the files are studied closely. They demonstrate how certain individuals are insulated, how loyalty is maintained, and how information can be used as a tool or weapon. Historians and sociologists suggest that these structures are remarkably resilient. Remove one individual and the system persists. Epstein's death did not dismantle the network. It merely removed a visible node. The secret files provide a blueprint of a world that operates above the law, where influence is the ultimate currency. Lessons for the public. Why should viewers care about secret files left behind by a single man? Because they reveal patterns that are relevant today. Systems that allow secrecy, wealth, and influence to concentrate in the hands of a few often repeat themselves. Understanding Epstein's network is a lens to see how power operates and how accountability is often bypassed. For citizens, the files are a cautionary tale. They show that knowledge, transparency, and vigilance are essential. The lessons extend beyond Epstein, touching on broader issues of governance, finance, and social responsibility. The secret Epstein files are more than documents. They are a mirror reflecting the mechanisms of power, secrecy, and influence in our world. While some mysteries may never be fully solved, the patterns that emerge from these records offer insights into how individuals and institutions operate, protect themselves, and interact behind closed doors. If you found this exploration enlightening, subscribe for more deep dives into hidden stories, untold scandals, and the truths that lie beneath headlines. The world of power and secrecy is vast, and sometimes knowing a little can change everything.